My mom sent me this video. It's called Strange Daily Habits That Are Actually Signs of High Intelligence. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, when she first sent it to me, I told her, I was like, Mom, I never watched it. Send it to me again. So she just sent it to me. But I said, I'm sorry, not I said, she told me, she's like, I think there's some that fit you. And I'm like, hey, okay, let's do something different. Let's watch something that isn't just music. Let's watch something and judge our own intelligence. Watching things to judge your intelligence. Okay, I'm here for it. Strange daily habits that are actually signs of high intelligence. This is by Me Explains Things. Never seen the channel before. Seems cute, so let's do this. This might be a long video. I talk too much. Anyway, here we go.
Eating the same thing every day might look boring, but it's often
I eat the same thing every single day, and if you know me, you know this. It used to be chicken nuggets, but then I was like, and it changed the breading, so I was like, nah. So now I make a scramble every single day. I don't make it, I make it, and then I eat it until it's gone. So, for example, it is potatoes fried in a skillet. Okay, so it's potatoes and onions, and I used to put green peppers and red peppers and orange peppers, but I just don't anymore. I just don't. And it's breakfast sausage, like the links cut up into like at least 4 or 5 pieces, and garlic salt and eggs and Swiss cheese. That's what I eat. And I make a big skillet of it. I make a big batch of it, and then I put it in the fridge, and then I scoop some out, and I put it on for 2.5, 3 minutes and reheat it enough that it's hot, but not enough that it like makes the sausages like shrivel into like little pellets, because that's gross. And then when I run out, I make another batch. That's all I eat. And sometimes I do eat. I just got peanuts for the first time like last week. I still have them. So I eat the same thing every single day.
eating the same thing every day might look boring, but it's often a sign of a sharp mind. Highly intelligent people tend to eliminate low-impact decisions. What to wear, what to eat. They can
I wear the same thing every day. I have the same jacket, and I have the tank tops. I have like 3 colors, but I have like 5 black ones. So I'm pretty much, it's clean. I just change it. I wear the same thing because it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? It's not important what I'm wearing, really, right? I work from home. Who cares?
conserve mental energy for harder problems. It's called decision fatigue. The more choices you make in a day, the worse your decisions get. So, removing small ones helps. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Zuckerberg does it too. For some, repeating meals is the same idea. It simplifies life and
It
clears
does.
mental space. Studies also
I don't have to think about it. I know I like it. I know I'll eat it. I know that I'm getting the nutrients that I'm supposed to be in general. And it doesn't make me gain tons and tons and tons of weight. So it's a win-win.
show that routines can boost productivity and reduce anxiety. Repetition isn't laziness, it's efficiency. So if someone eats chicken and rice every day, they might not be dull. They might just be busy outsmarting you.
And it might be also that they just don't, like, for me personally, I'm not a foodie. I don't care. I don't care about food. I'm not somebody who's like, oh, I need the flavor profile to be like this. I don't care. Just, it's got to be the right texture. It's just got to be the right flavor. Like, it works. And so why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I can never decide. I don't try new things at restaurants or anything. I just stick with what I know. I like it. Why do I change it? I know that if I order it, I'll like the same thing. So I don't know. I've never understood that mentality of like, I need to try 85 different things. And then they're like, I don't like this. And I'm like, well, I like mine because I knew what it was.
Number 10, building entire life systems you never follow. You've got a Notion dashboard, 6 color-coded planners, and a habit tracker with more rules than international airspace. And yet, somehow, you're still eating cereal at 2 p.m. wondering where the day went. This isn't laziness. It's classic high-functioning overthinker behavior. People with above-average intelligence often build entire systems to optimize life.
I do this. I have a stack on, I'm not going to go get it, but I have a stack on my counter. I just bought a budget book. Look, here's my current budget. Does it show it? There's my current budget, right? And it's in spreadsheet format. Okay. And I was like, I need a budget book. And it's got calendars and stickers and all this. It's still sitting on my counter unused. I got it like 4 days ago. It got delivered. I have spreadsheets where I track things. Sometimes I have so many notifications on my calendars that I just swipe away and ignore. I have books that have the how to clean your house, like to make sure you get everything. I have like one book for my kid so that she can check that off and get her allowance. And then I got a book for me, which is like the deep cleaning weekly and daily, daily and monthly and stuff. And it's still collecting dust because I haven't had figured out time to use it.
Then promptly abandon them. Why? Because the thrill is in the design, not the execution.
I like to build stuff. I like to build entire spreadsheets with macros and like shortcuts and stuff, and then I never use them.
It's like your brain's a city planner, not a construction worker. You had a system. You just forgot to live in it. Number 9.
Today, I'm going to show you how to do the Jap.
Yeah, I don't have premium. Sorry. Not sorry. It's just life.
Needing alone time after socializing.
I need alone time when I'm socializing. This is hilarious.
After a party, some people want an after party. You want noise-canceling headphones and a locked bathroom. That's not rudeness. That's mental maintenance. Research shows people with higher cognitive ability often have stronger introversion traits. They process conversations more deeply, analyze more social cues, and burn out faster.
I don't do well in small groups. I do well in like really like 2 to 3 in a setting or like 20 plus. But like the 5 to 20 range, I do horribly because it's too much. Either it's like small enough that you think that you could still participate in the conversations, but then you're paying attention to the other conversations, but then you can't quite get a handle on what's going on and you can't keep track of everybody. And so it's overwhelming. If it's over 20, there's no expectation here to track everything that's happening. And if it's 5 to 20, you feel like you can, but then you get overwhelmed because you can't. I have to know what's going on. I have to see how people are behaving, how they're acting, what their body language is, what their verbal cues are, what people are talking about. Like and it gets overwhelming. Like and especially if there's music playing and on top of it, like it's too much. It's too much.
In one study, intelligent individuals reported less life satisfaction when socializing more than average. Their brains prefer solo mode.
I'm always alone. If you guys know, oh my God, this is so funny. And I know there's going to be a couple people who will watch this who are my friends, like the people who went to Vegas with me. They know. I just, in the middle of a conversation, I'll kind of find my way out of the sentence, like out of the paragraph. I'll kind of opt out of the conversation and walk away and go sit by myself, in the pavilion, like, what is it called? The promenade. And just watch people walk by and just sit by myself. I wanted to be alone. Just like, leave me alone.
For reflection and creativity. So if you vanish after small talk and need a full system reboot, don't feel guilty. Your brain's not antisocial. It's just too busy being smart. Number 8.
Why is my mic keep like triggering? It's triggering me. Why? Why are you doing that, Mike? Okay. Okay, I'm just going to make a comment on this that I paused on, staying up late for no reason before he even speaks. I'm going to say this. I would stay up late because I just did. My brain would be going. I'd have something to do. There's always people that are like, I'm bored. There's always something to do. You can always find something to do. I co-sign with that mentality. There's no reason to be bored. You can read a book, you can clean something, you can fold your laundry. There's 8,274 different channels that you can find something that you've not seen, learn something, write a sentence, I don't know, wash your dishes, pet the cat, I don't know. I purposefully go to bed. Everybody knows I go to bed super early. I go to bed at like 9. I fall asleep by like 10. But I go to bed at 9 so I can get up at 3 a.m. because I love the hours between 3 a.m. and like I start work at about 6:30. So those hours are my hours. I just kind of get up, take my time, get ready. I usually make content before I start work. I go outside, I smoke a cigarette, you know, I take the trash out on trash days. I clean the kitchen, I set the dishes. I don't do the dishes at night, I do them in the morning. Like, it's productive. So, and the reason I do that is because if I don't make myself go to bed every single night at 9 p.m., I'll be up all night. And then I'll still get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. So,
Staying up late for no reason. If you're wide awake at 2 a.m. for absolutely no reason, it might not be insomnia. It might be intelligence. Research links night owl behavior to higher IQ scores. Late sleepers often score better in abstract thinking, creativity, and problem
I am not creative.
solving. Their brains don't shut off at sunset, they kick in. And no, it's not just gamers and doom scrollers. Some of history's brightest minds were chronic night owls. Darwin, Churchill, even Mozart.
Does getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning technically count as like being a night owl, considering, well, like in the 6 months out of the year with the sun, right? It's dark until like sometimes until like 8 o'clock in the morning. Right now it's bright by like 6:30, 7 o'clock, but generally between like 3 and like 8, it was always dark. So I spent a lot of hours in the dark. Does it still count as like night owl behavior? I don't know.
Theory? Smarter brains might be better at overriding natural biological rhythms, staying active when most others are powering down. So if you're crafting ideas while the world sleeps, you're not weird. You're just running on genius mode. Number 7. Getting bored of small talk quickly. If someone starts talking about the weather and you feel your will to live slowly dissolving, good news, you might be highly intelligent. Smart brains crave depth, not surface-level chatter about humidity. It's not that you hate people. You just can't pretend to care about Karen's third cat or how it might rain later.
Okay, something he just said there, you can't pretend to care. Anyone that, and I keep saying anyone that knows me is because I'm trying to back up what I'm saying with like real life. People have been around me and they know this, they know that I'm not just saying this for the sake of this video. I use the phrase, I can't make myself care about that. Like, I just don't. Sometimes there are things I just don't care about. And that's a lot of reasons that I don't do a lot of requests when it comes to reaction videos of any sort, because I am hands down that person is like, nope, I just don't care. And I will rage quit a middle of a reaction. In fact, those you can find, I'm starting to put them on my members only. So you can watch me be like, nope, not doing this. Yeah, I don't care is a phrase that is over vilified. Is that the right word? Villainized. Because saying that you don't care doesn't mean that I don't care about you, your existence as a person. It just means that this situation doesn't apply to me. It's not my problem, and I just don't want to put my emotions and my mental capacity into it. I don't care. Like, and it's okay. And here's the thing. Something that we've done lately in the universe, in social media especially, is we have demanded that everybody care about every little thing. And I think that's crap. We shouldn't have to. Why should I have to care about every single thing that everybody else is doing in the entire world? I don't have time for that. Do you know what I'm saying? If you put the effort and your care and concern into a smaller amount of avenues, rather than trying to take on the entire world's problems just because they show up on your social media feed, you would actually be making more of a difference than by half-assed kind of winging it in situations that have nothing to do with you and you know nothing about.
Researchers call it a need for meaningful stimulation.
Just saying.
You call it staring into space while someone explains their salad. Because while most folks are
Hey, I like salads.
fine swapping fluff, your brain's busy solving
Fluff.
existential crises or rewriting the laws of physics mid-conversation. So next time you zone out during hump day updates, just know you're not rude. You're operating on premium bandwidth, and
They like to make these little phrases like, you're not rude, you're operating on premium bandwidth. I appreciate them justifying the behavior and turning it into something positive. However, I hate those phrasings. I don't, and here's a fun fact. AI does that a lot. If you ask AI to give you like a topic and to summarize it, for example, for social media, I did a whole video of testing this and then I didn't post it. But anyway, they will say these little catchphrases at the end. You don't need inner peace. You're just, you know, you don't want to be alone. You're just protecting your mental, your inner peace. You know, you're not trying to distance yourself from them. You're just above those things. Like, just like there's always these little phrases to try to say, well, you're not this that people will call you. Instead, you're this. And I get it. I just don't need that. It's not required. I'm unapologetic.
Small talk stuck on dial-up. Number 6, tendency to delay tasks.
I'm a procrastinator. My mom calls it last minute Charlie. And I packed for Vegas the day before. Like, I was flying out at 2 a.m. The day before, I pulled my suitcase out and I packed after I fell asleep. No, I packed a little bit before I fell asleep, and then I packed the rest of it basically between the time that I woke up and the time I left in the Uber for my flight at 2 in the morning. I wait and when I move, like when last time I moved, I basically decided we were going to go ahead and move, and I moved like in the next day or so. Like, I do everything last minute, but I'm really good. I get everything done.
Then nail them under pressure. You had 2 weeks. You started 2
Pressure matters.
hours before the deadline, and somehow still crushed it. That's not laziness. It's a known quirk of intelligent minds.
Oh.
Some of the most brilliant thinkers were expert procrastinators. Leonardo da Vinci took 16 years to finish the Mona Lisa. Douglas Adams, author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, once said, "I love deadlines. I love the whooshing sound they make as they fly by."
Deadlines matter. You don't give me a deadline and I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Deadlines make it a priority. Priority takes priority. That's how that works. If you make something, whenever you get around to it, you mean in this lifetime, or like, you need to be more clear.
Why? High IQ brains often need pressure to shut out distractions and enter hyperfocus. They're not avoiding work. They're waiting for the perfect storm of panic and caffeine to summon their best ideas. So
Yes.
if you only come alive when the clock's ticking down, you're not broken. You're just cooking with mental jet fuel on a 5-minute timer. Number 5, making jokes nobody gets. You say, my ex is like a quantum particle, always in 2 places at once, and Karen just stares at you over her mimosa. Research shows that people with higher IQs often prefer complex humor, wordplay, dark irony, obscure references.
Dark and dirty. I'm here for all of that humor. Everything's an innuendo. I am very proud of my ability to turn literally anything into an innuendo.
The weirder the punchline, the sharper the brain. If you've ever made yourself laugh so hard you had to explain your own joke with a diagram, congratulations. You might be a comedic genius trapped in a normie world. Keep dropping those cerebral...
See, there's another one of those phrases. Congratulations, you might be a creative genius trapped in a normie world, because it's basically giving you like a description of how you can turn something that people would be like, Ben, that's really weird. You make the worst jokes. No, not really. I'm just a genius and you just don't know it.
Zingers. Someday you'll find your people, or at least a Reddit thread that gets it.
They've taken this video down.
I don't go on Reddit, but I don't believe you. I don't believe they've taken this video down over and over. I think that you're full of it and that you create urgency by saying that.
Number 4, always feeling a bit socially awkward. If you've ever rehearsed your coffee order 5 times, panicked anyway, and said medium large please, you might be smarter than you think. Social awkwardness is often linked to higher intelligence.
I really am awkward.
Studies show highly intelligent people tend to overanalyze social situations. They're not...
That's what I was saying earlier, right? Like, I have to be aware of every single thing that's going on and be able to like check out people's the way they're, and it's not just their body language from them outwards, it's how they are treating, because you can watch somebody interact with 2 different people and their body language and their verbiage, the way they speak to them, changes between those 2 people, and the 2 people are standing next to each other, and a lot of it's very subtle. I love figuring out why people do the things that they do and how they do the things that they do, and what kind of influences people to behave certain ways in certain situations. I behave differently in a professional setting that I do at my house, or when I'm recording or online or when I'm in Vegas or when I'm at my mom's house. You know, you have to adapt. And sometimes you have to like, I just like seeing how other people adapt. And it's funny to me because you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't. Like they bring their sarcastic, snarky attitude into a professional setting where it's absolutely inappropriate. And that is more prevalent now than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you know, there were no emojis in emails. You don't do that because it's not really respectful. You do use full sentences, use a greeting and a closing. You know, you write writing a letter, writing an email. And now people are just like IYKYK, wink wink to their boss, and it's like
Bad at socializing. They're just thinking too much about every possible outcome. While others are chatting about weekend plans, you're mentally buffering. Did my handshake last too long? Should I have said you too after she said safe travels? Einstein. Massive social
whenever I pause and speak, as I start listening to what they're saying again in my head, and I just did it too, I think, did I need to say all of that? Did I go on too long? Am I rambling again? I stop myself more than anyone else does when it comes to rambling. You'll see it happen too. Pay attention sometimes when I'm in my rant sessions, when I cut off in the middle of a thought process and I stop and I go, and then I just either end it or try to close it up real quick. That's because I'm thinking while I'm speaking, but what I'm thinking is not always exactly what I'm talking about. It's a whole thing.
Fit. Newton basically invented staying inside. High IQs can come with low small talk tolerance. So if your brain turns handshakes into boss battles, relax. You're not weird. You're just overclocked.
There's another one of those phrases. You're not weird. You're just overclocked. If you take a handshake and turn it into a boss battle, like the metaphors aren't really, I don't think they're necessary at all. But I mean, I guess if people like to see that, fine.
Number 3, constantly questioning everything. If your first instinct is to ask, but why? You might be running on high cognitive horsepower.
Why is okay. I never ask how people want stuff to get done. I ask them why. Like, what is the end goal? Why do you want this done? You want this? Oh, okay. Well, then I'll figure out how. You don't have to tell me that. Just tell me why. Tell me why you're doing what you're doing, why you're saying what you're saying. I don't care about the other pieces of all the questions. I just want to know why. I always want to know why. That's why I'm nosy. I'm like, wait, but why? For example, I did a reaction to AR's response to Michelle's show. And I was like, I don't have any context, which made me feel like I was flapping in the wind. Why did this happen? Why is this a problem again? Was this not resolved? Like, I don't understand. I just want to know why. Why? And every time I get like weird, random, misspelled, and scathing comments, I'm like, who hurt you? Why are you acting this way?
Studies in cognitive psychology link higher intelligence with low cognitive closure. The need for answers feels less urgent than the need for understanding. Smart people tolerate ambiguity longer. They'd rather investigate than accept surface-level truths. That's why highly intelligent people often challenge norms, question authority, and even reevaluate their own opinions. It's not contrarianism. It's just how their brains process information, constantly checking for logical consistency. Einstein called it holy curiosity. Socrates made a whole career out of it. So next time someone asks, why can't you just go with the flow? Just smile and say, because I'm busy rerouting the river.
That was a weird phrasing. Do you see over here? Can you see my mouse? Do you see all these people up on this mountain here? Do you know what it looks like to me with all these people in the water? This looks like they fell off of the cliff. And you know what that makes me think of? Lemmings. Have you guys ever seen the video game way back when? Way back when. It was the Lemmings, and you had to basically get them a path because otherwise they would just follow the next person and they would all just follow each other, and they would go, if one went off the cliff, the rest would follow. So you had to like clear a path for them. This makes me think lemmings, and that is something I'm so against. I don't want to be a lemming. I'm not a lemming. And I'm really big on respecting people's opinions, even if I disagree with them, because here's the thing. If you come to me with, you have a reason for why you're saying what you're saying, and even if I don't agree with you, it's thought out and it's logical and it makes sense to you, I respect it and that's fine. And if it's something that maybe resonates with me and it might change my thinking because I'm open to changing, hey, you know what? Maybe I wasn't quite right about this. Maybe I needed some more information, you know? I completely agree with that. I can't get over the fact that looks like a bunch of people falling into the water. Like they're all like, it's like lemmings.
Number 2, not trusting instructions unless you've tested them yourself. If your gut reaction to instructions is, I'll figure it out myself, congrats.
Did I not just say that? I don't care about how I'll figure that out. I just want to know why. I don't need you to tell me how I'll figure that out.
You might be running a high-spec brain. Curious minds don't just follow rules, they test them. Whether it's ignoring IKEA manuals or baking cookies without...
Okay, no, I don't ignore building furniture manuals because that's weird. And you'd end up with like a 3-legged desk. They probably make those, but I'm saying if you bought a 4-legged desk, you'd end up with 3. And you know, you always have extra pieces. There's some that they give you in case you like lose one. But when you take something apart that was already put together and then put it back together, why is there always an extra piece?
Without measuring cups, it's not chaos. It's science, sort of. Research links this to a trait called need for cognition. Basically, people who get a kick out of thinking things through themselves. So if you've ever
this is not me. I don't identify with this one, just FYI.
reassembled a coffee machine just to see if the manual was lying, that's
I don't
not
care.
stubbornness. That's DIY IQ.
I literally don't care. I don't care how the coffee maker works. I just want it to work. I don't drink coffee, but you know what I'm saying? I always want to know how cassette tape worked. Like the nitty gritty of that. Like I'm curious, but not curious enough to take something apart and figure it out myself. Like that's not me at all.
Number 1, getting emotionally attached to inanimate objects. Ever said sorry to a chair after bumping?
Yeah, I do this. I did this a lot more as a kid. Like you take your stuffed animals and you have guilt because you played with one more than another, or if you put them on the bed and then one of them you forgot to put on the bed and you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I used to feel bad. I can't believe I'm saying this. You know those rug, you either like yarn and you have like a hook and you make a rug thing and it's like a pattern and it has like all the different colors. I used to count out how many little mini pieces of yarn I would take out because if I took out a whole chunk of those and didn't use them all, I would feel bad. I'm like, well, why didn't I use these instead of those? They're left out. I know it's wild thinking that, but when I was a kid, I thought like that. I do apologize to the universe all the time when I get hurt. Oops, sorry. My bad.
Into it, or felt weirdly guilty throwing out an old pair
Why do you think I'm a hoarder? You should see my house.
of socks? You're not broken. You're just emotionally overqualified. Getting attached to inanimate objects is often a sign of high emotional intelligence. Researchers believe it stems from something called anthropomorphism, when we project human feelings onto non-human things.
In my experience, in my past, the humans in my life that were supposed to be the most impactful and emotionally there for me were the most damaging. Withholding emotions, withholding affection, just all forms of abuse in all the different ways. And I don't necessarily think I co-sign with I think that my plant, actually I did talk to my plants earlier. It's weird, but I didn't even think of that. I don't sit here and think that this water bottle, like, I hope you like my lips on you. Like, I don't think it's sentient. I don't think that it's feeling or anything. And if I don't drink it all, I'm not going to be mad about it. I just think that in my experience, maybe I don't feel this way. Like I haven't put emotions. I have guilt. I find the guilt. I don't necessarily think that the microphone has an emotion. I automatically apologize if I hit something because of my guilt, not because I think that objects. Does that make sense? I don't know if I even know what I'm saying.
It's not just cute. It's linked to higher empathy, creativity, and social intelligence.
Yeah, I'm not creative.
You're not weird for naming your Roomba or feeling bad when your childhood stuffed animal ends up in storage. Your brain just doesn't draw a hard line between people and things. So go ahead, apologize to the coffee table. That's not cringe. That's
You know, I think this, I'm not going to lie. I don't think this is necessarily just like an intelligence trait. I think this is I've been screwed over by everybody who is supposed to care about me trait. And so the lines blur between, because if why does he look like he's flipping everybody off? All right. I just don't know how to put that in a way that makes sense. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm not articulating it well. What I'm saying is that when you get disappointed over and over by humans, they start to lose their priority as the go-to for emotional comfort. And when humans don't offer emotional comfort, I'm not saying objects do, but it more lowers humans to an object level because if you can't get any comfort or love or affection from humans, just from your personal experience or trauma, that's possible that they lessen on the emotionally dependent, like you can depend on them for emotional, to the level of your couch. Your couch is more comfortable and doesn't talk back and yell at you. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe not, but I know I know I have a point. Whether I articulated it is
emotional depth. If you've been called weird, maybe you're just smarter than average. Thanks for watching, and drop a comment if one of these hit a little too close to home.
That was really cool. I really like this, and I'm going to do more of their videos because I thought that was awesome. I thought that was great. This comment says, I have the memory of an elephant. When I was very young, I can recall my parents taking me to the zoo where I saw an elephant. Come on, that's hilarious. You get it, right? The memory of an elephant. You remember an elephant. Get it? Not that you have the memory of an elephant, like you remember things, because they say an elephant never forgets. They have a really long memory. But saying I have a memory, it's like a double, right? That was funny. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed going through that with me. I like doing stuff like this. I usually do these on live streams, but I didn't this time because I just didn't. So there's that. I'll post this sometime. I don't even know when. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you for being here. Super awkward and unprofessional outro because I wouldn't know any other way. I hope you have a good day. This video is long enough. Bye.